Again, OBS hates that. Alright. So we've taken our flat landscape, we've made some small hills just to add a bit more interest in our yard. We've avoided doing that though where the actual building is because it needs to sit on a flat piece of ground, particularly for our path. Let's do something a bit more interesting with our grass yard, because while it looks nice, I mean the grass looks fine, we could add a bit more colour I think, so I'm going to jump back into my foliage tool, back into my plants folder here, and I did actually create something here. We're going to pull in these marigolds, I think they are. I'm just waiting for them to recompile. The shader has, it's the first time we've used them, so the shader has to compile. While it's doing that, I'm going to go through and make sure nothing else is selected. Nope. And we'll just wait for our shader to compile. Okay, now I want to go through my settings here. Brush size I'll bring up a little bit. The density I'm going to pull down a bit. Well, we may have to undo and redo a few times until we get this right. We'll see how we go. Min and max, I'll leave the minimum at 1 and do a maximum of maybe 1.5. Let's do a test paint here. Again, it's recompiling the shader, but you see I can barely see them, so I'm just going to wait for the shader to recompile so I can get a better idea of what it's done. And again, bear in mind the colour of our foliage has changed because we've raised the landscape, so until we do a rebuild on the lighting, they're going to look a bit bright, a bit green. Once we rebuild the lighting in Unreal though, it'll tone all that back down again. But again, I don't tend to do a rebuild on stream because it takes about a half an hour to rebuild this level, and that's very boring to watch. So when the stream finishes today, I'll do a rebuild on the lighting, so when we come back tomorrow, everything should be blended in correctly. Alright, now I'm just going to pull down here and have a look. I'm going to undo that paint that we just did, and we're going to play with our settings a bit more. I'm going to pull the density up a little. I'm going to pull the minimum up to 2 and go to 2.5. We'll see what that looks like. Again, I'm just going to check our size. I think size-wise it's okay. I'm looking at that in comparison to the flowers we've got in the background here. I may just up the density a bit more though. I'm just going to paint some of these flowering marigolds here and there. And again, all I'm doing this for is to break up all that green, so we've got a bit more colour going on. But the actual colour won't look correct until we do a rebuild on the lighting, so again, bear that in mind. The colour will change a little bit when we rebuild the lighting. So I'm just going to go around our yard here and paint a few spots here and there with our marigolds. Again, I'm just going to make sure I don't angle my camera in a specific direction that OBS doesn't like. And around our pond area here, I think would look quite nice. Back into here. And back into here, I think. Yeah, I'm angling my camera here so OBS doesn't freak out. Maybe in amongst our trees. Maybe just pull them up to the path a little bit. Alright. Just going to pull them forward a little bit as well. That should be alright. Let's jump out of our paint tool there. Okay, I'm going to pull back and get to our entryway here. Now, I really think it needs something through here. Just from the base of our steps here until we get to the actual start of our building. I just think it needs something. I'm not sure. I'm just going to look through my plants to see if there's anything that might look good on either side of our path, just in the front here. We could go with a small pine tree. And I want to avoid doing anything too high here because I don't want to cover up that tree stump, though. What have we got to work with? We could do azalea bushes, but I really don't want to do that. I want something a bit different. We do have these really nice topiary trees, but where are they? I think I've only got one variety. I know that these are really nice, but I want to use these around the doorways, probably in pots on this side and on this side. That doesn't mean we can't reuse them again here, but these decorative ones I think would look better around the building. We do have another variety of that though, which is a bit more ordinary, which is this one here. These are the ones like we've used in the pots, I think. Yeah. Let's see if we can use these. If we don't like it, we can delete them. And that's what it's all about. It was place stuff. If we don't like the way it looks, then it's easy for us just to remove it. Again, I want to try and avoid placing anything in front of that tree stump. So I like the look of the tree stump. I don't really want it to be hidden, and our camera will be coming over our terrace. Where are we? Here. So I'd really like that tree stump to be noticeable. I don't really want to hide it. I'm just really not sure what I want to do for either side of our path here at the entry. Let's duplicate this little tree and move one to the other side, and then we can see what we've got to work with. What else do we have here? We do have these pine trees. They're very large though. I don't think I can really scale them down either because they're just going to look weird. They're like a full-grown tree that's at half the size, so we can't use that. We do have this. Let's have a look at this. We use these on the side of the hill. Back here. It's sort of like just long grass. We may be able to use that. Maybe. Let's copy. Oh dear. Let's copy this grass a couple of times. Just so I can create a sort of like a small bunch of them. Alright. Again, I'm going to create a blueprint from that grouping. I'm only creating the blueprint because it makes it easy for me to move around. I'm going to call it tall grass cluster underscore prefab. There. Okay, so we just have our little cluster of tall grass. It's actually wheat, but that's okay. We'll call it tall grass. Let's duplicate that again, that grouping. And we'll duplicate it one more time. Okay, Sniper Echo says, I forgot to tell you that Blender have added a real-time renderer. Oh really? That's really cool. So Blender have a real-time renderer. Very cool. And the next release it'll be the default viewport. Okay, that's interesting. Because I know that Autodesk have also released a real-time renderer. It's separate to 3D Studio Max though. Can never remember what they call it. It's Stingray or something. I don't use it, but yeah. But that's interesting if they're going to use a real-time renderer as the default viewport for Blender. That's really interesting. You have to tell me what it's like, because you guys know I don't use Blender, but I'm always interested to hear anything that anything new. Yeah, I really don't. This entry is really giving me a problem. I'm not sure what I want to do here. Again, I don't want to cover up that tree trunk, so I'm having a bit of a problem working out exactly what I want to place here. I'm going to move this grouping down. Let's make a copy of these to the other side. Maybe if they're balanced, it'll give me a better idea of how I want to tackle this. Oi. Again, I've got to make sure I don't angle my camera in the wrong direction for you guys, because OBS will freak out. just have to live with placing some more azalea bushes or something there. Again, I don't want to cover up these tree roots either too much. Maybe some long grass. How about that? Let's jump back into our foliage here. And I know we've got this long grass somewhere. Where is it? Not the backyard grass. Not the cattail. The cattail's an interesting plant, but it needs to be growing in water, like our pond. I'm pretty sure we've got like a long grass here. I think it's a stick grass cluster, maybe. Maybe not. Yeah, no, it's not that one. Must be this one. Yeah, this is the one. I think what I'll do is I'll scale it up. I'm just looking for a better blend between our tall grass here and our shorter grass over there. Move it in. But it's interesting you say that, Sniper Rick, about it being the default viewport. You guys know I use V-Ray at work in the studio. We do archviz, and a lot of our work is, pardon me, is V-Ray. But I'm trying to talk the studio into using more real-time stuff like Unreal to do some work for our clients. Not all work, but some work. Because I think in the long run, eventually, real-time will replace renderers like V-Ray or Mental Ray or any of those rendering engines. I think eventually everything will just go real-time. Because as a designer, it really frees you up to work if you can see what it's going to look like immediately and not have to wait for something to render out to get an idea of what it's going to actually look like. So, yeah, I'm trying to talk them into using Unreal at the studio a little bit more. We'll see how we go. They can be a bit slow to change though. But yeah, I think real time is the way to go. I think everything will go real time eventually. I'm just going to duplicate this one more time. Wait. And we'll rotate it around. I'm just looking for a different angle here. I want to make this a bit thicker. I'm going to scale it up a little bit as well. I just wanted to frame our walkway a little bit more for when our camera actually starts moving towards our building. I didn't want to hide the tree stump. I do want to frame the walkway a bit more though, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull that leaf blueprint we created in, those leaves, which is backyard grass, dead leaves, here we go. Let's rotate that around. Yeah, so don't get me wrong, I don't think rendering engines like V-Ray or Mental Ray or any of them are going to go away, but I think real time eventually will tend to replace a lot of them a bit. Move that up a bit. Let's duplicate that to the other side. Again, let's rotate it around. It just helps to better, pardon me, better define our pathway here a bit more. Okay, so we have our marigolds here on our hills. We lifted up our flat areas here a bit more just to add a bit more interest, so it wasn't quite so flat. It's just got these small hills going on. We added some plants to the sides of our building to give them a bit more interest. Again, I'm just looking around to see if there's anything else I want to add anywhere. And again, we have to rebuild our lighting, so if any of these plants are looking a bit bright or the shadowing looks a bit odd, it's because the lighting needs to be rebuilt. Alright. Let's just pull back, pull back, pull back. Again, I'm going to save all and I'm going to play in a window so we can get a better look at what's going on. So again, OBS really does not like this, but if we're careful we can look at what's going on. These plants look too light because the lighting has to be rebuilt. So it's going to look odd until I rebuild the lighting, but I just want to run through here and check that everything is blending correctly or looks correct. So we get to our second terrace. I'm still not completely happy with the entry here. I'm going to have to play with that. I'm not sure. Something's not right. Just on these sides here, it just doesn't look quite right. We'll look at that in just a sec. I just want to race around the building and have a look. We have our marigolds, which all move in the wind. We will be adding ivy to the building in spots here and there just to soften the building up a bit.
I don't care what they think about me, yeah. I don't care what they say. I don't care what they think if you're leaving. I'm gonna beg.
Just going to rest my camera for a minute so we can look at the movement of the trees. And again, remember guys, I have to play with the fog setting because it's way too much at the moment. And I want to add volumetric fog as well. We'll do that soon. Okay, let's jump out of that. Now, yeah, there's just this entryway here on either side. There's something about it I really don't like. It needs something here and here. It just needs something. Let's jump back into our foliage here. Hey, Benny. Thank you, Benny. Yeah, we're going to create a cinematic where we actually fly through the environment and we go inside the building. So we're going to be flying into the building and back out again. So that's our next project for this scene, is going to be designing the interior of the building. That's what we're going to be working on next. Dem God Rays, yeah, that's right. Thanks, Sniper Echo, and thanks, Benny. I'm glad you like it. Let's turn on volumetric fog. I did a preview of it for the guys last week. I'll do it again, just for any of you new guys that haven't seen it. Just going to close these down so it's a bit easier. At the moment we're using exponential height fog, which is great, but the new version of Unreal 4.16.1 has something that they call volumetric fog. So I'm just going to pull back. I'm facing this way so OBS doesn't freak out. going to pull back. Again, it's not going to look quite right because we haven't rebuilt the lighting. But if I turn volumetric on now, I'll give you guys a preview of what it will look like after I've made adjustments. I haven't adjusted it yet. It really helps to add a lot of realism to the scene by using volumetric fog as well. Again, I don't tend to use it because I need to adjust my fog values. It gets a bit too heavy. But in the right light with the right settings, which these aren't, it can start to look really, really cool. Yeah, again, it's way too high, but once I adjust my fog values, adding volumetric really helps to add a lot of realism to the scene. Just going to switch that off again. So once we play with our fog values, we'll put volumetric on, and that'll just help to tie the rest of that landscape together. What I've noticed, Benny's saying the blacks look saturated, don't they? What tends to happen with Twitch is it tends to darken my stream up. Now, don't ask me why. So what I see here is not as dark as what you guys are seeing on screen. For some reason, Twitch, when it broadcasts my stream, does its compression or whatever, tends to darken my stream up a bit. If you look at my YouTube channel, the videos on my YouTube channel, because I record to the hard drive while I stream to you guys, it doesn't look that way. It looks like I'm seeing it here, much lighter. So it may look a bit dark to you on stream, on Twitch, but trust me, it's not as dark as it looks for you guys. It's a lot lighter. I use a 10-bit color panel screen here, and I record in 709 format, I think it is. So the color I see is a lot lighter than what you see, which you can tell if you look at the videos, my videos on YouTube, they look the same color as what I see. They look a lot lighter than what you see on Twitch. But having said that, I do actually use do LUT color correction as well, which does tend to push the blacks in a little bit. Let me see if I can find my LUT here, because I want to show you just how different it can be if you use a LUT in Unreal. I'm just going to find it here. You want to know the specs of my machine, Benny? I haven't put that in Nightbot. I actually probably should, as a command. But if you're curious as to what my machine is, I can tell you. But I will add that command actually to Nightbot. Yeah, I'm using a LUT, and the LUT does tend to push the blacks down a little, to crush the blacks a little bit. I'm just trying to find where it actually is so I can turn it off for you guys so you can see the difference it makes. Post-process volume, I think it's under. I think it is. Is it global? Yeah. Okay, this is my LUT. I'm using a custom LUT. If I turn it off, you'll see the difference it makes to the color. Let me just get pulled back here a little bit. The trees and foliage you got from Plant Factory, Speed Tree. That's with the LUT turned off. You see it's all very green. With the LUT on, it brings out the color a lot more. No, I'm actually using Speed Tree trees, so they're all wind animated. They were created in Speed Tree. Speed Tree? Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Speed Tree, yeah. So, yeah, I'm using Speed Trees, not Plant Factory. Plant Factory is the program made by Eon View. I do use Eon, made by, yeah, Eon. I do use Vue quite a bit in my work. The last project was done in Vue, rendered in Vue, but I don't use Plant Factory. I prefer Speed Tree, actually. I prefer the interface of Speed Tree to Plant Factory. Plant Factory is very good. Yeah, but I'm more used to Speed Tree. That and the fact too that I use wind animation in the level here, so I want to, let me just turn that on, see if OBS freaks out because I've got real time turned on. As long as I'm facing this direction, it's okay. I like the wind animation, so that's why I'm using Speed Tree. It incorporates into the Unreal Engine really well. And remember, you can take a subscription out to Speed Tree where it's, I think, $20 a month. And you can make your plants in Speed Tree. You can save them then so you can bring them into Unreal. So they're all wind animated. And then when you've made, you don't have to keep the subscription up. Once you've made your trees, you can then drop your subscription and still use your trees in Unreal. So just depending on how long it takes you to make a tree in Speed Tree, then you can, you know, pay $20 for 1 month, make your trees, and then use them in your game. Although we're not making a game, we're going to be making a cinematic. Yeah, so there we go. Let's just turn real time off. So once I start playing with our fog values and pull it right back, then I'll turn volumetric fog back on, and then our landscape should be ready. But I just need something on either side here. I just don't like this entryway. I really don't like this entryway. I just don't know what I need, but I need something here and something here. So let me just look through my plants here, see if there's anything else I can pull in. Yeah, just looking at the entry here, our camera will come up through here and it just needs something. Just don't know what. What about a dead tree? Well, not a dead tree, but a tree with no leaves. What have we got here? Let me just see if that's positioned correctly before I deselect it. And again, I'm using a tree with no leaves because I don't want to cover up that dead tree trunk here. I really would prefer not to cover that up. If I can avoid it. Now remove the tree in the front of the building. It's blocking most of it, and add a dead tree or a smaller one. You're talking about this tree here. You want me to remove that and add a dead tree? Or add one of these leafless trees? Yeah, I could do that. Yeah, we can look at that. Let's get this entry sorted first though. I just need to do something with our entryway. Yeah, I know what you mean. Benny suggests that I remove this tree and place one of these leafless trees there so it doesn't hide the building. Which may look cool, but we'll look at that maybe tomorrow. The reason I'm hesitant is because even though we would see more of the building, it just having a tree with leaves helps to soften up the building a bit. Sniper Echo says it needs a garden terrace. He's referring to my last project on Twitch, which was Baroque Garden Terrace. Some kind of mini fountain. Now, a fountain is actually a nice idea, Benny. Yeah, I agree. A fountain could look really cool. I'm just going to pull in another one of these trees for this side though. Just going to pull it down so it's actually inside the ground. And then I'm going to rotate it around, maybe like that. Let's deselect it. I think that might be better. Again, I just wanted to frame this entryway up a bit more. And having the dead trees there doesn't cover up our view in the background too much, but just helps to add a bit of an entryway, just to highlight the entryway a bit more. And we can still see our pond a little bit in the background there as well, which is good. I just want to make sure that this isn't intersecting this tree too much. I may just move it forward a little bit. Alright, so yeah, I understand what you're saying about this tree here, not covering the building up, but I wanted to soften the building a bit because it can look a bit harsh on its own. A pond though would look, a fountain would look really cool. Benny's asking me, how I got the visualizer on the music. It's pre-recorded or real time. The visualizer is real time, and it's a screen capture of I'm using Fubar. So Fubar is playing the music and it creates the visualizer. In OBS I'm using a screen capture of just the of just the bars, so that's all happening in real time to the music. So yeah, it's real time. I'm using Fubar to actually play the music and to create the visualizer, and then I'm just screen capturing that in OBS and putting it over my little graphic there in the corner. So yeah, as you were saying though, a fountain could look really cool. Maybe around the back here somewhere. In this corner over here maybe. We can certainly look at that. But I think what we may do is we may leave it there for today, guys. Geez, OBS hates that corner. Again, the engine doesn't have a problem with it, it's OBS really doesn't like it. We may leave it there for today. We'll pick this up tomorrow because we've nearly finished our environment, and then we can start working on the interior of the building. I do want to thank you guys very much for hanging out with me and for watching, and thank you Benny for following the channel as well. I really do appreciate that, so thank you. I do want to thank you guys very much for hanging out with me and for watching. Do remember I stream usually Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday at 5 PM Pacific in the US, but I can't stream on Wednesdays for the next few months because I've got a lot of work on at the studio. So Monday and Tuesday at the moment at 5 PM. Good. I hope to see you tomorrow, Benny. Oh, and you cheered as well, Benny. Thank you very much. That's very cool of you. Thank you. I will be back on again tomorrow at 5 PM Pacific in the US, which is 10 AM on in Australia, or 1 AM in the UK. Again, thank you for the follow, Benny. Thank you for the cheer. Very good of you. Thank all you guys for hanging out and for watching. Hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. You guys have a good night or day or whatever time it is for you, wherever you are. Thank you guys for popping into chat. Thanks, Sniper Record, for showing your work. And yeah, hopefully I'll see you guys tomorrow. Take care, guys.